What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the first match of the BTBC Pro Wrestling World Cup. And at first, we have the American qualifier. That means the winner of this will represent the United States of America in the World Cup. And the loser will be sent to the last chance qualifier for the main event of this episode. But up first, we got the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Now, Steven, we know you feel very passionate about your hatred for this man. So go ahead and tell everybody what's going to happen for him tonight.
Listen, we already know he's gonna lose, but as a fellow American myself, I'm kind of rooting for him to move on. But at the same time, there's something in my heart that's telling me I don't want him to move on. I want Jon Moxley to squash him to the bro. I need Jon Moxley to just beat his ass to the core, bro. That's it.
Strong feelings,
As he's doing
Well,
right now.
Tommy, go ahead.
I'm gonna say I got some good news for you, Steven, because I really do think I'm going with Jon Moxley. I think Jon Moxley is gonna get the win. But again, Cody's gonna have to just put the WrestleMania week behind him, and he's gonna have to show us what he can do tonight.
But Cody and Moxley are both starting off hot. Moxley has the upper hand again as he goes for the punch of the midsection. But yes, as Tommy was saying, Cody had a really rough WrestleMania week. Let's see if he can go through, as the fans are saying, adversity and get through the World Cup. Steven, again, I'm going to let you go again. What do you think Cody has to do to get through, and do you think he is capable of it?
I mean, if he wasn't even capable of beating Roman Reigns, what makes you think he's capable of beating Jon freaking Moxley? So, I don't think he's going to be able to beat him, but the plan for him to beat Jon Moxley, just wear him out, bro. Wear out Jon Moxley as much as you can. If you gotta hit him with some bar wires or something, man, do that. You have to wear out this man, Jon Moxley, because he has a whole bunch of tank behind him. That is the only way Cody Rhodes can beat Jon Moxley, because, I mean, it's Cody Rhodes. I mean, he doesn't strike fear in anyone. So, not even his mamas.
And Tommy, this is our first AEW versus WWE matchup, and this is a pretty big one. You have Jon Moxley, who arguably has had the best career in AEW so far. What do you think? What do you think Moxley has to go through to get through this tournament? Because you know he is willing to go through anything.
Well, kind of like what Steven was saying before, Jon Moxley is one of those men that you have to do a lot to keep this man down.
I don't mean to cut you
off. I don't even
Cody
think
Rhodes just hit a crossroads. Will that be enough? One.
Is this it? Two.
Cody Rhodes will be representing the United States of America, but don't worry, Jon Moxley has one more shot. So,
I'm about to maybe just took a crossroads.
But yeah, that is a crossroads, and there's a little replay. But Tommy, what are your thoughts on this match before we go to the break?
I mean, this is perfect for Cody. Like I said, bad week, WrestleMania weekend. This is a huge win for him, and hopefully the future for him in this tournament. So we'll see where it goes after this.
But catch us right now. We are about to announce more participants in the Pro Wrestling World Cup. We will see you next. All right, so as you just saw, Cody Rhodes will represent the United States of America in the Pro Wrestling World Cup. Drew McIntyre qualified to represent Scotland, beating out other participants. Ilya Dragunov will represent Russia, and Axiom will represent Spain. So those are your first 4 participants on the bracket. You will see the full bracket at the end of the video, so stay tuned. Let's get to the next match. Welcome back to the BTBC World Cup. We have the Samoa qualifier. Now this one's a little different because you think of the bloodline. A lot of them were actually born in America, but there's just no way we could just have the World Cup without any of them. So they will be representing Samoa in this World Cup. And first, in this triple threat, we got Jey Uso taking on his actual brother, Solo Sikoa. And those two men will also be taking on, in a way, the men that they kind of work for right now. That is the head of the table, Roman Reigns, who is both WWE Undisputed Universal Champion. And this match could sell out any stadium in the world right now, I believe, in any pay-per-view form. But you're getting it here as a qualifying match to see who will represent their heritage, their bloodline, literally. So, for y'all, start with Steven. Who comes out on top in this?
Aaron, are you serious right now?
I know the obvious answer, but just give us a breakdown of why.
It's going to be Roman freaking Reigns, and the reason why is he's the head of the table. He is the tribal chief. This is his core. Okay, he represents the bloodline. He's the reason why the bloodline is on top. He's the reason why the family is on top right now. It's because of Roman freaking Reigns. So Roman Reigns is going to do what he has to do to represent his family in the good light. and do what he has to do. Jay isn't ready. Solo is nowhere near ready. Roman is the guy to put the family on his back and represent the Samoa family. We already know how this is going to go, man. Come on now. Acknowledge your tribal chief and throw the ones up right now. Everyone put in the chat right now in the comment section. Throw the ones up.
Well, this I'm about to get to you, Tommy, but not only these men have verbally stated that they're not doing this for their country, their themselves. They're doing it for their bloodline itself. So, Tommy, who comes out on top here?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually against Steven. I'm going for main event Jay. As you can see, well, as we can see here, Solo is crazy. Roma's going crazy, but I'm going with main event Jay. He was carrying the match at the beginning, and I'm just all for this new main event style Jay Uso. I think Roma's time is just done. Let's do it. I'm here. I'm for it.
See, and Roman just shakes off a
Oh
super
my
kick
God.
like that. Look at that. Solo is just watching the enforcer. Is he gonna help Roman? Is he gonna what kind of conversation do you have with your family
What?
after this?
Shit.
After this,
I mean,
Listen,
I think they're with Jay Uso just getting thrown off out of the ring like he was nothing, just a fly.
exactly. Because he's not on Roman's level.
all right. All right. I mean, if I'm not gonna lie, if I'm Roman and my God, but if I'm Roman and they're even stepping to you, are you taking this as disrespect because they want to represent the family? He had this problem with Sami Zayn.
I mean, listen. I'm not. If Roman knows, they don't mean no disrespect. They're just here because they all want to eat. They all want to represent the Samoan bloodline. He's not gonna take this
Roman's
as
going for the cover.
disrespect.
Jey Uso's gonna. He was too late. He was just
Throw
a
the
second
ones
late.
up, baby.
Steven was right. Roman. What do you have to say for Roman? But just try to quick it up because we are about to transition to the next match.
He's in God mode. He's your tribal chief. He is the head of the table. He is Roman freaking Reigns. You will acknowledge the head of the table. He is the head of the bloodline. He is the king, the man himself of the Samoa family. Tommy, you can boo all you want, but acknowledge the GOAT Roman freaking Reigns, baby.
All right, you just saw Roman Reigns will represent Samoa in the Pro Wrestling World Cup. Will Ospreay actually won his pool for England, and he will represent England in the Pro Wrestling World Cup. Malachi Black will represent his home country, the Netherlands, in the Pro Wrestling World Cup. This might upset some people, but Omos, we will have a giant in the Pro Wrestling World Cup, and that will be Omos representing Nigeria, and Kazuchika Okada will represent Japan. Those are 5 more names. Make sure to stay tuned to the end so you can see where they land on the bracket. But let's get to another Pro Wrestling World Cup qualifier. Not going to be able to show you this whole match, but we are going to go ahead and show you the highlights for the Australia qualifier. And that was a triple threat between Buddy Matthews, Bronson Reed, and Grayson Waller. Now, this went all over the arena, and in hopes to represent these men's country, no one would stay down for the 3 count. You can see the marks on Grayson Waller's back. He's going through it. Buddy Matthews had this match won several times, but just couldn't get the job done. But Grayson Waller would get a little stunner, and Bronson Reed will be too late. Grayson Waller will represent Australia in the Pro Wrestling World Cup. And to me, this is a shocker. I really thought Buddy Matthews or Bronson Reed were going to come out with it, but Grayson Waller at such a young age will represent his country. Let's get to the next match. What's going on? Welcome to another qualifier for the BTBC Pro Wrestling World Cup. This time we got the country of Mexico, and we have the old stand front here in Rey Mysterio taking on the new up-and-coming rising star. Maybe he's already a solidified star. He had a big, very big showing on AEW Dynamite a month ago against the great Kenny Omega. That is El Hijo del Vikingo. Now, Tommy, this late in his career, a World Cup finally happening. He was in the What Culture World Cup. What do you think he can do here?
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say this for both of them. I think this is huge for Vikingo if he gets doing. I think this solidify him as a star. If anyone even had a question about it, but with Ray, I mean, he's like the, I guess, the teacher in this situation. He's the one that should go on. He's been here, you know.
Yeah.
He's not afraid of the big stage, but this should be good. This should be good.
Looking at the tournament bracket so far, Reyes might be a little up and over from both of them. That was kind of cool. From what I've seen so far of the bracket, Ray is the only one that has a World Cup experience. He even faced Will Ospreay the first time in the World Cup. That may have been the last big stage one, but it didn't have every name. This tournament has every name. But look, Rey Mysterio already being the veteran here. With how everything been going for the road to WrestleMania for Rey Mysterio, can he stay focused with his son Dom learning in the background?
That's the big question here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can Ray stay focused? Can Ray move on? Can Ray move past Dom? Because I mean, I don't think Dom is in this World Cup, so this is just Ray against himself, honestly. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, both of these men had big pull play matches leading up to this, and both of them looked very, very impressive. But Ray's going for the cover here. Vikingo kicks out at 1. All right. So the lucha styles are very different from Ray's lucha style now. He used to work that lucha style that Vikingo works, but he had to change it up once he got to WWE. And we've seen what Vikingo does. How much like wear and tear does that do on your body, especially in a tournament like this?
I mean, that's why we call Ray so great. He's been doing this for so long, you know. Vikingo kind of just got in the game. I believe he's not. I believe he's 26, 25. So
Mm-hmm.
Vikingo's very young. But again, that's why we call Ray a GOAT. That's why we call him a legend. Lucha Libre's face, you know.
Like
Vikingo's finally getting
and
some offense in. It
there's
looks like.
some and more of that lucha AAA offense. I think Vikingo might be the only one from AAA that made it to here because he did take out Phoenix and Pentagon in the pull play matches. But Rey Mysterio's been there before. They're both kind of prodigies of the man that inducted Rey Mysterio and who actually introduced Rey Mysterio to the wrestling business itself, Conan. Vikingo
Which doesn't get enough credit. Conan should be talked about more as a legend in the business.
Mm-hmm.
Just putting that out there.
But it looks like Vikingo's going for the top. I don't even. Is that a 630 or 720? But will it be
He
enough?
loves that 630.
1, 2, 3. Hell, Del Vikingo is going to the World Cup to represent his country in Mexico. That is huge. What do you got to say?
I mean, huge win for Vikingo. Like I said, this would have been a win that kind of solidified him as a star. I don't think we can say much more about him. Shout out to Vikingo. Huge win. Huge win.
Vikingo is going to the World Cup. We hope that you enjoyed that. Let's take a look at some more names that will be in the World Cup. Here we go. As you just saw, El Hijo del Vikingo will represent Mexico in the Pro Wrestling World Cup. Now Giovanni Vinci will represent Italy. And Sheamus had to beat out a bunch of talent, but he will represent Ireland in the Pro Wrestling World Cup. People might not like this one, but Jinder Mahal will represent India. And this one, I think people are going to love. Kofi Kingston will represent Ghana in the Pro Wrestling World Cup. And this is a little underdog pick right here. David Finlay will represent Germany. Look out for him. He's one to watch. And as you saw earlier, Grayson Waller from NXT will represent Australia. And the final little group of names will be revealed, and the bracket will be revealed at the very end of the video. But after this match, we'll get the last group of names, so let's get to this match right away. Thank you for sticking around during the break. We have reached a last chance qualifier. So all these men were in pull play matches, and they couldn't get the job done there, so they have made it back here. And this is their final chance to make it this year. And Penta El Zero Medio, or Pentagon Jr., has made it to the last chance qualifier here. So just like I said, I'm going to say it again because I got to push it through your ears. This is their last chance to get into the tournament. We got Zack Sabre Jr. We got a very young and up-and-coming star, Konosuke Takeshita. He actually, last week, he was in a very prominent role with the Elite taking on the Blackpool Combat Club. And then we got Bryan Danielson. This wouldn't be even an opportunity if Danielson never made his name for himself. And Hangman on the Page deserves his flowers, so he's definitely in this tournament. Tommy, who's walking out here?
This is actually my first time seeing the participants in this last chance qualifier. I mean, the field is stacked. I mean, it's hard to go against Bryan Danielson here, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He seems, honestly, he may be the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Most seasoned in this match, to be honest. Now, all these guys are great. I don't want to get that twisted, but I think I got to go with the safe pick here with Bryan Danielson.
Also, this is the first time I'm telling Tommy, this is elimination, so you got to last till the very end here. This is something I'm just throwing on the commentators here. This is an elimination style match, but Takeshita is able to kick out there. I don't know. Takeshita had a very, very impressive run in the Japanese, which will be revealed who won that pool. The Japanese little pool, and you'll see right after this. But he had a very impressive run for such a young star, and I believe he will be back whether he wins this or not.
like I said, Takeshita, young star, another young star. I think we're in a great spot of young stars in wrestling, just putting that out there. But Takeshi got a bright future, and yes, like you said, I don't want to be surprised if he came back. Oh, we got a pin here.
And
Hangman.
Pentagon is the first man
Oh,
out. Hangman's already looking very impressive, but look at Zack Sabre Jr. there. He's going for the pin right away with the lariat. 1, 2.
can we get another one back to back?
Takeshita, you will be
Oh,
back. Don't worry, but you are gone for now. There are 3 men
it just
left.
wasn't his time. Just wasn't his time.
2 Americans and 1 English in the field. But Hangman is he going to tap out? It looks like he is. It is down
Oh,
to Zack Sabre
tap it.
Jr. and Bryan Danielson.
Kind of fitting,
Wait, oh
right?
my
This
gosh.
is who's.
That is
Oh,
an editing.
oh,
That is a part on my
oh.
part. Bryan Danielson got eliminated earlier, but Zack Sabre Jr. is advancing and he is taking the last slot. And England gets 1 more chance in the World Cup. So you have Will Ospreay who won that side. Now you have Zack Sabre Jr. That's in it too.
Zack Sabre Jr. has a bragging rights over Bryan Danielson right now. That's all I'm gonna say. Forbidden Door is gonna be great.
But catch us in the main event coming up next. As you just saw, England has another man representing them. Because of the last chance qualifiers, Zack Sabre Jr. will also represent England. Kenny Omega will represent Canada, in a big name right there. Who else then other than Claudio Castagnoli to represent Switzerland? Miro, formerly known as Rusev, will be represent Bulgaria. This is underdog favorite. I don't know who's gonna put their money on him, but he's a favorite to win it. Gunther will represent Austria. Jay White, another big name, will represent New Zealand. And then Damian Priest will represent Puerto Rico. Stay tuned. Right after the main event, I'm going to reveal the whole bracket for y'all. But let's get to this main event. Let's take a look. Welcome to your main event, and it is the final last chance qualifier here. And the man who lost to Sheamus in the final of the pool play for the Ireland, JD McDonough's coming in. And then from MLW, member of the Samoan bloodline, it is Jacob Fatu. And Edge, this is most likely his last shot ever to even get into the World Cup. We got Edge representing Canada. We got Bobby Lashley getting another chance to represent America once again. And I think that's it for that's the final 5. Big names. This could probably and Jon Moxley, I'm sorry, who lost in the opener. This is definitely his last shot to get in and again represent America. A big match like this is a fatal 5-way elimination. Tommy, you just saw what happened earlier. Kind of fill Steven in on how this match can go down.
A lot of action, fast pace. Might not even see a pin. You just gotta stay with it. But it was great. It was great action all around. But Steven, stay. Put a seatbelt on, because this is gonna get crazy.
Steven, man, probably someone that's never seen Jacob Fatu. You just know that he's high impact, fast. But who do you think comes out with the W here?
I'm gonna go with my boy Jon Moxley. For some reason, I don't know. He just gives me the vibe he might just clear this entire squad out, like he's about to do right now. Pin 1, 2,
Kick out right away. But Edge has one last shot here. Probably the last shot of his career because he's probably going to retire this year. That's the rumor going around. I know there's been names that they want. Oh, wait. Bobby Lashley's getting pinned. 1, 2. Kick out right away. Thank you. Oh, wait. No, he's going for a second one. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, Lashley. That
of course the black guy gets
that was my dark horse.
But here's JD still in this somehow. JD's probably the underdog here out of these 4 names. And Moxley's
Jacob
out too.
Fatu.
Fatu is just
Jacob
clearing
Fatu
house.
is on a right.
Fatu's
He's on a
clearing
tear.
house. What are the chances for JD here? For like he's and
Oh
right
my-
on the chair. Oh my god! 1, 2. Oh, he kicks out. All right.
Oh, wow.
Bro,
What
listen
to
to that
do?
flow again.
I keep trying to pass it to y'all,
I
but
need
we keep
something
getting
there.
pinfalls. 1, 2. It is down to Edge and Jacob Fatu now. Steven, you're just saying the
Kinda
Samoans are
fitting.
big here, but Edge is going for a spear. Do you think someone like Jacob Fatu can even have a shot at Roman in this tournament?
Come on now, BFFR right now. Listen, no one's on Roman level. No one is in the Samoa family can touch Roman at this very moment. And I don't care who it is. It can be The Rock. It can be, bro. It could be any bro. No one is touching Roman at this very
But
moment.
you're right for now.
And I
'cause
guess
Edge
you're
has
right.
just eliminated Jacob Fatu, so Jacob Fatu couldn't even get past Edge. Edge is making a one last stand to get to the finals of this tournament. Him and Kenny Omega will
Exactly.
represent Canada, and this is
He couldn't even get past the guy that Roman beat himself. Like, come on. I know, bro.
We appreciate y'all watching. This is episode 1 of the BTBC Pro Wrestling World Cup. Come back next week to see the first round. The first round. This is just the qualifying, so it should be fun. We will see y'all next week. Thank y'all for watching. And of course, as promised, I am showing you the tournament bracket, all the matchups that will happen. So next week we will see the start of this round, which is the people that get a bye. We'll talk about them first. Roman Reigns, Claudio, Jay White, Will Ospreay, Kazuchika Okada, Cody Rhodes, Gunther, and Kenny Omega. But the people that might possibly face those men, we have a first round matchup of Ilya Dragunov versus Damian Priest, Sheamus versus Jinder Mahal, El Hijo del Vikingo taking on Omos, little David versus Goliath there, Edge versus Grayson Waller, Malachi Black versus Kofi Kingston. This next matchup, I feel like it's going to be a banger. We got Zack Sabre Jr. taking on Axiom, Drew McIntyre versus Giovanni Vinci, look out for that one, and David Finlay taking on Miro. So that second round is going to hit him harder, but this first round is going to be fun. Make sure to tune in next week. We will get some of the first round matches done. We will see y'all there. Same time, same place. Peace.